It took some time for the dust to settle after the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim released. I feel bad for the PlayStation 3 players who had to endure the problems the game had on their platform. Like you, I loved Skyrim when it came out, and once people were able to pick apart the flaws the game had after the numerous hours of gameplay, we were able to better compare the entries. Around 2013, Sami Olin released a video, The Elder Scrolls The Dumbing Down. In his video, Sami Olin details how Skyrim shows the significant changes between the kind of games Morrowind to Oblivion to Skyrim are, and back then, the man was speaking the truth. I cannot deny how simple and easy Skyrim is, and in the current year of our Lord, we have Zoomers who are experiencing Morrowind for the first time and diving into how deep the game actually is. When you're new, Morrowind is hard and many game players are more casual. There's a reason Fable is fondly remembered. It felt straightforward and easy to get. For many, Fable is baby's first action RPG. Yet for me, I'll revisit and play Fable, but nowhere near as religiously as The Elder Scrolls. This leads to my question that I have for myself. If I love in-depth role-playing games so much, why am I still playing Skyrim as much as I do? I'm assuming there are those seeing this video who were but young pups when Skyrim came out, and now have real adult jobs who have moved on to more current games, and yet there's this old wizard still sitting at his desk with Skyrim loaded in front of him. Why? A person could say I've done everything I wanted to do in Skyrim and I should move on to something else. Why is it that I can feel snobbish about the idea of playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition? Because other fantasy games are more fresh to me, even if older, yet I don't treat Skyrim in the same way. I want to be fair about how I talk about Skyrim no matter how much I love the game. It is inescapable the amount of hand-holding the game has. I don't feel like my choices truly matter. I can join any faction I want to, even if they're conflicting. I cannot fail quests like I can in Daggerfall, which can actually give me a time limit for some of the quests that I'm able to find. If you haven't played Daggerfall, you can be given a quest where you have to find the dungeon yourself, complete what was requested of you, and if you're not back in the amount of time the game gives you, then there's no reward. You get nothing out of it. Here's an example of where the questions brought up come from.
Ah, bother and befuddle! Stuck here! Stuck! I knew I heard something! Befuddled, stuck here, stuck.
Why can't I kill this man? Be it known that I have stopped the direction of a Dungeons & Dragons campaign at an instant by killing the wrong person in the first session. The GM legitimately had no idea where to go in the campaign. Bethesda most likely either didn't come up with a backup plan if that character is killed, or they don't want to deal with the frustration from new players. Despite these complaints, every year in the transition between autumn and winter, I wait for the first snowfall, make a mug of hot chocolate, and pick a black metal or dungeon synth album as Skyrim, a game that is always on my hard drive, is loaded and ready to go. The Elder Scrolls games that came before it were action role-playing games, but Skyrim isn't so much like a role-playing game to me as it is a medieval fantasy civilization simulator. Everyone has their climates that they prefer, and for my old wizard ass, there's nothing like the comfort of the cold woodland snowfall. To put it another way, if Skyrim existed in real life, I would want to live there. It sounds cheesy. It absolutely can sound childlike. It's still the truth. Skyrim doesn't have the modern ways of living or the medical advancements that we do now. I would always be at risk of death from a large beast or something environmental, yet I'd still take it. There's nothing quite like the beauty of a cold winter night without the light pollution that we experience in the modern world. After a snowfall, I like to walk outside, see a clear night sky, and just look up. Skyrim may be graphically dated and showing its age year after year, but I still get to experience that same feeling as our winters have gotten more warm. The feeling of cold stone, the scent of burning logs while you keep warm as a beer is in your hands. These are precious to me. I will either pass away during these cold autumn and winter times, or I will pass away in anticipation for them. Yet in Skyrim, I could experience these feelings with the surrounding of fantasy and the mysteries buried in the creativity. With what I have just gushed about, what about the gameplay and the Elder Scrolls as a series, since Skyrim is old now? In the time that has passed, Bethesda has released the Elder Scrolls Online, which is a game I have thoroughly enjoyed, yet it doesn't quite scratch the itch I'm trying to appease. Thankfully, Bethesda released Oblivion Remastered, which I managed to get working properly with the right tweaking. Yet, we still await something new. That's where mods come in, and perhaps this is why Skyrim has survived in keeping a player base for so long. The modding community has not only fixed the game technically for certain players and brought quality of life enhancements, but brought on new stories and regions to explore. Enderal is a good example, being a total conversion of Skyrim with some of its own mechanics. I adore the idea of people using the system Bethesda created to make their own stories, and so often it's not even done for the money. It's just because others are passionate. There are plenty of videos that try to answer what the next Skyrim is while listing games that on the surface can behave like it. Unfortunately, I don't think an actual Skyrim killer or Skyrim replacement is going to be a real thing. The game was a product of its time, and any game that is trying to be a Skyrim killer is setting itself to be doomed to fail in meeting expectations. What we need is either Bethesda to get it together and release something proper, or someone else to innovate, and for the latter, there are some projects I'll be paying very close attention to.